Part 1. Television programs. Where do you usually watch TV programs, shows? Why? The living room is the place in my house where I usually watch television programs that I like. It is definitely the most comfortable place for me, since I can lie down on the couch. And if I'm snacking on some food, I have a nice coffee table where I can put the containers. What's your favorite TV program, show? Why? My favorite TV show is a series from the 1980s called The Wonder Years. This series is about a boy who lives with his family in the suburbs of Burbank, California. It is my favorite show because I watched it with my family when I was a child, and every time I watch it, it brings back good memories. Are there any programs, shows you don't like watching? Why? Why not? The programs that I don't like are comedies mixed with double meaning, which are very common in my country. I don't like them because the double meaning is always vulgar and everything is said in high-sounding voices that make constant reference to sex. Programs like that are just boring. There are lots of other shows that are more interesting or educational. Do you think you will watch more TV or fewer TV programs, shows in the future? Why? Why not? I think that in the future I will continue to watch television programs, as they are a good way to spend free time. Also, the constant offer of new series on Netflix and Prime Video on various topics is extensive, and you can choose from a huge range of options for all ages and personal interests. Part 2. Describe someone you know who has started a business. You should say who he, she is, what work he, she does, why he, she decided to start a business, and explain whether you would like to do the same kind of work as this person. 2 years ago I met a girl who I attended to because she wanted to enter the sports club where I worked. In a short time we became good friends and even went on some trips together. She told me that in addition to working giving talks to women who have suffered some kind of violence, a few years ago a friend of hers invited her to start a food and beverage business together. They decided to search for a location for their business downtown in the city where we live. They wanted to get a space that they chose because it had several stores that offered a wide variety of food and drinks. Many people went to this place for several years, and she and her friend managed to establish their business there successfully. They installed all the equipment and fixtures, and the products that they sold to the public were different types of snacks that are widely consumed in places of entertainment. From the beginning they did well, and they managed to sell their products, building a sustainable business and making a profit. Now she is the sole owner of the premises and has 4 workers who support her running the business. Their hours are long and sometimes they close at 3 a.m. in the morning on weekends, but she says that she would rather have a business than work in a government office where you work many hours sitting at a desk and have little money and days off to go on vacation. The main reason for having decided to start a business, according to her, was to be able to not have set schedules, immediate bosses, or a mandatory uniform, and, most importantly, to be independent. In my case, I thought that if I had the option of setting up a similar business, I wouldn't. I think the handling of perishable products is very complicated, and it is a significant pressure to sell everything before it spoils, being in this case, a total loss. Food handling is not an easy thing. It is not like having a clothing or footwear store. I think I would dedicate myself more to selling through the internet. Part 3. Discussion topics, choosing work. In your country, what kinds of jobs do young people not want to do? In my country, having a job is more important than the type of job you can get. Much of the workforce operates within a hiring system where labor rights are non-existent and so-called outsourcing prevails, which does not guarantee a salary and offers less rights for workers. Who is best at advising young people about choosing a job, teachers or parents? The answer may be very similar, as both are examples for young people. The father is an example for many years as to the type of worker that he is, while the teacher promotes the type of worker that the young person could become. Both can give good guidance based on their own experience. It's good that young people have several different perspectives on work, so they can be better informed and make the best choice for themselves. Is money always the most important thing when choosing a job? I believe that the choice of a job also depends on several other factors, such as the time to travel there or the location of the job, or even the type of job, if it has good long-term prospects. But the economic part, the wage or salary, plays a role that could be decisive if the above factors are not a definite obstacle. In case of being far away, the person can move, and in case it means many hours a day, the person might have to say goodbye to their personal life for a while. Work-life balance. Do you agree that many people nowadays are under pressure to work longer hours and take fewer holidays? Yes, of course I agree that many of the people who work today are increasingly pressured to spend more hours working than in the past. There are several factors, such as the workload assigned to a person that is actually for 2 or more people. Likewise, they could be persuaded to work longer hours than others with the intention of acquiring a higher income due to their personal needs and financial commitments. What is the impact on society of people having a poor work-life balance? Nowadays, it seems that it is more important to maintain a relationship with work than a personal relationship. People no longer have time to meet other people, and if they have met them, they do not have time to see them very often. Family relationships are nurtured only at Christmas and New Year, and some children grow up with absent parents. They might live with them, but they are always working and don't spend quality time together, and then parents wonder why we have a problem with so many disoriented young people. Could you recommend some effective strategies for governments and employers to ensure people have a good work-life balance? In our world today, the answer to everything is money. Among the things that governments must guarantee of basic rights, education, housing, food and health. If people have enough money to cover their basic needs, then they will not have the urgent need to dedicate more time to their work and forget their personal life. As for companies, a fair salary should suffice, and they should not make unrealistic demands on their employees in terms of the number of hours they work, or overtime, or excessive responsibilities that can lead to stress and a poor work-life balance. Cambridge IELTS 13 Speaking Test 1-4 Answer. Cambridge IELTS 13 Speaking Test 2. Part 1. Examples. Are you happy to be the age you are now? Why not? I'm a young person who has health and strength to do many things in my life. So, personally, I'm happy with my age because I feel can do as I wish. I suppose that if I were old, I would no longer have so much energy and my body wouldn't allow what my mind would try and tell it to do. When you were a child, did you think a lot about your future? Why not? When I was a child, what I did was study because my parents demanded it and because it was normal that all children did it. But what kept my head busy was gymnastics and playing. I think that when I was a child, I only thought about the present and I enjoyed it a lot. Do you think you have changed as you have got older? Why not? I think we all change with the years and life experience, but in essence, you are always the same. For example, when I was a child I loved to jump, run and play, and now that I am grown up, if someone put me on an obstacle course, I would gladly and happily have a go at it even though I'm now an adult. What will be different about your life in the future? Why? It's very difficult to know what things will change in the future because no one knows that. But if something has to change, it may be my current sports activities. I go running or to the gym. And I guess as I get older I may still do these physical activities because I love them, but not as often or with the same intensity as I do now. Part 2. Describe a time when you started using a new technological device, e.g. a new computer or phone. You should say what device you started using, why you started using this device, how easy or difficult it was to use, and explain how helpful this device was to you. When I was a child, my dad bought a new computer. It was a basic model, not like the kind we buy nowadays. The new computer only consisted of a nice screen, mouse, and keyboard. I didn't know how to use it, but I had to learn quickly because I had to do my homework and present it in printed format. It wasn't that easy for me. I was used to pencil and paper. My dad didn't know how to use it either, and my older sister behaved like the classic obnoxious older sister, not wanting to help. There was no one to teach me. I remember that it was very difficult for me to master the direction of the mouse and the pointer, because when I moved the mouse, the pointer would shoot to one end of the screen and disappear. Then I would move it again and it would point to another place that was not the desired one. The other conflict I remember was the click buttons on the left side and the secondary functions of the button on the right side, as it was very confusing for me to learn which one to press, and I regularly made mistakes. Computers were a whole new thing for me and my family. My father chose to continue using his Olivetti typewriter because he never managed to control the mouse. Then he asked his daughters to transcribe his writing onto the computer, but that was after we had learned to use it well. The folders were another mystery. Regularly they got lost and I did not remember where I had saved my school work. I did not know how to recover a deleted file, or the written lines that suddenly disappeared due to some key that I pressed. Not to mention the famous presentations that we were later requested for school exhibitions. When it was all new to me, it was quite a challenge that I had to overcome due to meet all the requirements. Today, you wouldn't know what to do without a computer. I did all my university assignments thanks to a laptop that I bought exclusively for that purpose. It is one of the most useful objects for almost all types of activity, and with an internet connection the world is at your fingertips. It is definitely a must-have item today. Part 3. Discussion topics: technology and education. Example questions. What is the best age for children to start computer lessons? Today's children seem to be born knowing how to use any type of electronic device. Parents use their own phones to distract their children from an early age. The use of the computer is a very simple step for them due to their previous use of technological devices. That is why I believe that there is no longer a best age to learn, since from the first years of life they already begin to use them naturally. It's a part of their natural development. Do you think that schools should use more technology to help children learn? Today most schools teach classes using a computer. The options for teaching are limitless with the use of the tools provided by a computer connected to the internet. Students no longer need to imagine anything, because you can search literally everything online: videos, documentaries, photos, the world in a couple of clicks. I believe that nowadays the use of technology is essential for teaching. However, we still do not know the real consequences of this radical change, since all of this is relatively new. Do you agree or disagree that computers will replace teachers one day? I have heard on the news about comments on the possible replacement of teachers by ultra-advanced computers that will be the new tutors of the children of the future. Personally, I hope this won't happen, but with the pandemic caused by the COVID-19 virus, it is already happening today, since students are already doing their classes at home in front of a computer. It means a step that has brought us closer to a new reality faster than expected. Technology and society. Example questions. How much has technology changed how we communicate with each other? The change has been radical in just a few years. Communication in the past was much slower and could take days, then hours, and now it is a matter of seconds. The way of communicating nowadays is instantaneous and encompasses any place on the planet to the extent of being able to know in real time what is happening on the other side of the world. Do you agree that there are still many more major technological innovations to be made? I have no doubt that new technological advances will emerge in all fields of human life. Many of them we cannot even imagine at the moment. The most important discoveries, of course, will be in the field of medicine, and for now what the world is most looking forward to is the creation of effective vaccines. We can all anticipate that we will suffer from a variety of new virus pandemics in the future similar to the recent outbreaks which we have suffered. Could you suggest some reasons why some people are deciding to reduce their use of technology? I think their reasons could be related to the misuse of technology or to the negative effects that overuse triggers, such as heavy dependency. Nowadays, the use of a smartphone is practically indispensable and they hold the entire life of the person. The most basic memory functions are covered by any phone. It could be said that for thousands of years we survived without digital technology and now we could not get by for one day without it. Cambridge IELTS 13 Speaking Test 3. Money. When you go shopping, do you prefer to pay for things in cash or by card? Why? At present, most of the shopping centers and marketplaces are digitalized and people prefer to take debit or credit cards with them. I am no exception. I prefer to pay through cards to cash because it can be easily carried and it is safer than carrying a large sum of money. I can be free hassles like from counting cash money also. Do you ever save money to buy special things? Why not? Yes, I do. I recently bought a laptop with the money I saved last year from my salary. Think it is a great human habit to save some money every now and then. You never know when you might be in need of some money in danger. Sometimes you can surprise your near and dear ones by presenting them something unexpected, and saving some money can help you here. Would you ever take a job which had low pay? Why not? Well, it's quite a tough question to answer. To me, a good job depends on several important factors, and there is no denying that a handsome salary is one of them. However, factors like a good working environment, friendly atmosphere, and the chance of learning something new and special should also be considered. If these factors are met and the salary is a bit low, I might take a job into consideration. Part 3. Discussion topics: discussing problems with others. Why is it good to discuss problems with other people? There are a number of benefits of discussing problems with others. It helps a person to make good decisions. It also prevents us to take any rash decisions which can lead to any big damage. When we discuss problems with our relatives and friends, we can learn about various aspects of a problem and find out solutions together. This provides us with strength and confidence. Do you think that it's better to talk to friends and not family about problems? Well, I do not consider such an idea as a good thing to do. Think family is the first place to share any problem or any thoughts. Because the family members can easily realize the feelings or emotions of a person when he or she is in a problem. Friends can also help in making the decisions. But, to me, family is the first place to consider here. Is it always a good idea to tell lots of people about a problem? No, I don't suggest anyone to do so. Think, most people might not understand what you are going through when you are in a big danger or require the best suggestion about a matter. Family members and close friends are the people to whom you can talk about such problems. Sharing a problem with lots of people might make it look like a joke underscore. Cambridge IELTS 13 Speaking Test 4. Cambridge IELTS Book 13, Speaking Test 4, Fully Explained, Explanation, Ideas and Vocabulary. Cambridge IELTS Book 13, Speaking Test 4, Fully Explanation, Ideas and Vocabulary. Money. When you go shopping, do you prefer to pay for things in cash or card? Why? Shopping is an essential part of life. We do shopping for many purposes. Almost every day I go to buy something. Making payments depend upon the products and situations. Usually I pay in cash, something I use cards as well. I mostly use cards to make online payments or when I get the petrol or diesel in my vehicles. Do you ever save money to buy things? Why? Why not? Saving money is one of the most important skills. It becomes the priority when it is conducted to buy something. I had a dream to buy a laptop, but I did not have enough money. I started doing a part-time job and saving from my pocket money. After 3 or 4 months, I was able to buy the gadget I dreamt. Getting hard on oneself could be irritating and demotivating. It is better to save least amount so you can live easily and happily. I would say that saving is one of the most important skills to develop. Would you ever take a job which had low pay? Why? Why not? It is very tricky question. If I talk about myself, I am not in the situation to do low salary job. Because I have to shoulder some responsibilities. To do my responsibilities, I need to be financially strong so I can feel confident and secure. After achieving my financial goals, I may think to do low-earning job if it is meaningful and bringing any change in the community. There are people who are working for the social cause. Their remuneration is not so high, but satisfied doing it. Would winning a lot of money make a big difference to your life? Why? Why not? Winning a lot of money certainly brings changes in life. It may be positive and negative. I have seen that people lose their senses after getting a substantial amount of money, even they put their morality on the stake. There are people who invest the money and try to double. They plan and go something which can be financially good for them. Part 2. Describe an interesting discussion you had as part of your work or studies. You should say * what the subject of the discussion was. * who you discussed the subject with. * what opinions were expressed. And explain why you found the discussion interesting. I am a talkative person and I often start any topic to exchange the ideas and information. I believe that we can learn and improve ourselves by discussing with others. We learn more while talking because we are full involved into it. Couple of weeks before, we had a very healthy discussion on digital marketing and its benefits for the business with our business partners and associates. Mr. Saber is a digital market expert and he trains people to make the best use of it so they earn more. We did not have much awareness of the uses and advantages of digital marketing. We took it very lightly. When the expert showed us the results of last 2 decades, we were shocked. We shared our confusions about digital world and its functions. We had very limited views about social media networks and digital marketing. We believed that it is just to entertain and hook people. But his illustrations and explanations opened up our minds. My business partners also shared their opinions and asked us, Mr. Rajbir, to train one of us to use the digital market for our business. We all were fully involved and interested in the conversation, and later it became very health talk. We found it insightful and knowledgeable. The interesting part of the discussion was it was very informative and eye-opening to us. My all business partners were full immersed. Part 3. Discussing problems with others. Example questions. Why is it good to discuss the problems with others? Discussing the problem is considered leading to the solution. It is very necessary to talk about the problems with family and friends. If we don't discuss our problems, it may be very dangerous. There are many young boys and girls don't feel comfortable to talk about the issues and confusions they are dealing with. It may sometimes lead them to commit suicide. Doctors suggest that we must share our problems with the person we feel at ease. Sharing it with that person can release the tension and depression. Do you think it is better to talk to friends, not with family, about problems? Friends and family both are integral part of our life. I believe that we must share our confusions and issues with friends and family members. It is also true that a majority of people don't feel as ease talking about the problems with their family members. They prefer to discuss with friends. If I talk about myself, I mostly share my problems with my friends. The nature of the problem is also the deciding factor. There are some issues and confusions we share with friends, some with family members. But talking about your problems with the one you trust is very important. Is it always a good idea to tell lots of people about a problem? Sharing your problems with numbers of people, I think, is not good. There are people who listen and mock at you. You become laughing stock. It is better we discuss our problems with the people we trust. When we share the problems with more people, the solutions are in numbers and may be more confusing. I have seen people talk about their problems publicly just to gain the sympathy. It is not a good thing that we should do. Communication skills at work. Example questions. Which communication skills are most important when taking part in meetings with colleagues? Communication skills are very crucial to succeed personally and professionally. It is one of the top 5 skills in the world today. People join special training programs to enhance their communication skills. Corporate houses ask their employees to hone their communication skills. Verbal and written communication skills are very important while taking part in a meeting. One must be able to talk and make others understand his talk. Writing should be neat and clean so it could be read. Purpose of the meeting should be well communicated. What are the possible effects of poor written communication skills at work? People are more interested in improving their communication skill these days. Because poor communication skills may lead to misunderstanding. And the misunderstanding may cost dear. If we are unable to present ourselves in better way, we may lose our important relationship and create confusions. What do you think will be the future impact of technology on communication skills at the workplace? Technology is bringing revolutionary changes at workplace. I believe that the technology is going to help people communicate effectively in the future. People are going to communicate easily. People will be able to reach maximum. People with minimum efforts. Technology is never stagnant. The future communication technology unpredictable, but it would benefit people around the world.